Welcome to CityWise. I'm your host, Tiana Stevens. CityWise is produced by the City of Rochester to shine a spotlight on city living at its best. We're going to start with a look at what's happening in your city. Mayor Warren is recognizing local college-bound seniors in a big way. The effort is part of First Lady Michelle Obama's Reach Higher social media campaign celebrating College Signing Day. More than 500 pictures were taken at dozens of local high schools throughout the county. You can view more pictures on the City of Rochester's Facebook page. And another clean sweep is in the bag. 2015 marked the 10th year of the city's popular beautification project. Nearly 3,000 volunteers lent a hand, including Mayor Warren, who stopped by several sites to help out. This is the second year that Clean Sweep was held in partnership with the Rochester Red Wings, and 2 pitchers also pitched in. Volunteers were treated to a free baseball game, and WDKX Radio broadcasted the day's events live. If you missed out on Clean Sweep, there are still plenty of opportunities to clean and green your neighborhood through the Mini Sweep program. You can call 311 for details on that. And to read more city news, visit cityofrochester.gov and click on the Newsroom tab. Well, since it opened its doors in 1901, Baden Street Settlement has served thousands of families in Northeast Rochester under a mission of improving quality of life, eliminating the causes of poverty, and reducing social problems associated with poverty. We're joined now by Vice President of the Board, Robert Gavin, and Jeff Clark, Board Member and past President of Baden Street Settlement, to tell us more. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
Jeff, how did Baden Street get started over 115 years ago?
It began in 1901 by 2 enterprising women, Fanny Garson and Therese Katz, as a way to help Jewish immigrants transition to their new environment, their new, their new home in Rochester. And since that time, it has changed with the times. It now serves a broad-based clientele who resides in the geographic area in which Baden is located, and so it's really kept pace with its demographic over time.
Robert, what are some of the services that Baden offers, and is it all in one location?
It's not all in one location.
Okay.
We provide a number of services for a wide range of age groups. Quite a few for the 5 through 12 age group. After school programs we have for youth that provide activities that are educational, that are fun, field trips. We also provide services for those that are over 60. We call it the Mature Adult Resource Center. We provide services that train the workforce development programs. Technology programs that we provide. We provide folks which helps people with their skill sets in technology, and we have a lab called the Attain Lab, which will give folks skills in using computer and Microsoft Office products, and you can actually be certified in Microsoft Office as well.
That's good. Yeah. Jeff, how have the programs changed over the years?
Well, as you may be able to tell, Baden Street is not a specialty organization. Its mission really is to serve, a location and to address the cumulative needs of those who live within, the 2 zip codes essentially that we serve. And so it's really a cradle to grave. We are interested in what happens early on and what happens, as they mature and enter the workforce. Encounter a variety of life's great challenges and how they work through those, and on into the maturing years when their challenges become different. And really it's the programs are intended to work and have always, I think, been intended to create an environment in which, a whole group of people can have a resource for, the challenges that life throws out to them. And I think those programs have changed with the changing needs of that, group of people.
Sure. How do people come to Baden Street? How do they find out about the services and programs?
Well, there's so we have 5 locations in the zip codes areas in the northeast area of Rochester, and a lot of it has been for word of mouth. But certainly we do go out, folks go out in the community and service those that are out in the community. We have medical services as well. And so sometimes we get referrals from the county and people come to Baden Street because it's a location that's closer to their residence. And so from there, you know, word of mouth, and we've been around for many, many years. So
right. Are all the services free?
Let's see. Yes, with the exception, I think, of we have a day child care facility where there is a fee associated with that, modest, but it's a fee.
Okay.
I think all the other services are provided, you know, to those in need without cost.
Okay. Now, Robert, you mentioned cradle to grave services. Can you share a success story of a family or a child maybe that's been served at Baden Street?
I think
Jeff, you had a couple in your hip pocket.
Well, yeah, there's, you know, Baden's been around for a while. David Gant is a success story of Baden Street. Trent Jackson, you may, if you're old enough, you may remember Trent Jackson, a great Olympic athlete from Rochester, professional football player. His wife, Pam, continues to run the Baden Street, the Clinton Baden Rec Center. Emmett Porter, prominent businessman. Lots of people in Rochester got their start at Baden, and there's a long list, but those are probably some of the names that people might remember.
And you'd be surprised when you walk through the community and ask people if are they familiar with Baden Street, or have they had any relationships with Baden Street, and you'll be surprised at the number of people that have gone through some of the programs at Baden Street. Yeah.
Including a good portion of our staff, you know, who is, you know,
that's true,
stayed on.
Okay. Now, as far as community outreach, are there events that you hold throughout the year to promote Baden Street, to make people more aware of the services?
Well, one event that is a regular occurrence is our annual meeting, and maybe Robert can speak to that. It's coming up next week, and that's always been a very important and we think exciting opportunity for us to gather.
So the public is welcome to attend this meeting?
Certainly, the public's welcome to attend. There's a donation tied to that, and you can find out more information about the annual meeting on our website at www.badenstreet.org. It's posted there. Get detailed information on it.
And this year is going to be a luncheon? This
year is going to be a luncheon, that's right. We have a very phenomenal guest speaker, Harriet Washington, who's a prominent award-winning author on health issues. And so she'll be our speaker, and in fact, she's a former Rochester resident, now living in New York City. So we're excited about that.
But let's go back to the computer lab and the digital arts center. Why is that so important for these neighborhoods in the Northeast?
Well, when you look at some of the resources that may be available to others in the community, sometimes they're not readily available to those that we service. And so because we're an extension of the neighborhood, we provide technology resources to the neighborhood, and so this gives folks in the neighborhood an opportunity to train themselves, get familiar, better their skills, so they better prepared for the workforce. Plus, the digital lab is a great outlet for kids. It's a pretty cool facility with all the big screens, and it's a pretty cool facility.
Now, Jeff, do you work with, does Baden Street work with other organizations in Rochester, say if there's a service that someone needs that's not provided there?
Absolutely. We work with the city school district. One of the things that's kind of new and necessary and interesting is that we have formed a foundation with 2 other settlement houses, the Community Place and Charles Street. In order to, to share the expense and also the talent that is within these organizations in order to address issues that we hold in common. And so we've formed a foundation to raise funds and to otherwise support these three settlement houses and other similarly situated organizations. And we have great expectations for how that will, allow us all to kind of raise our game.
So along with attending the luncheon and supporting Baden Street in that way, are there other ways that community members can help out? Can people volunteer or donate items?
Absolutely. We take donations.
Okay.
And there's volunteer opportunities throughout Baden Street and in many of the locations. All you need to do is just stop by 152 Baden Street or go to the website, and there's a contact information on the website.
And because of the diversity of services, there's going to be something that everybody will find interesting.
Sure.
So we would encourage people who feel that need to come down and take a look.
Absolutely.
Why do you think this work is so important to Rochester?
I think it's important to the human condition. We need each other, and as you encounter that need and try to address it, you find that the personal satisfaction that comes out of interacting with others and experiencing life as a community is something much more satisfying, and so that's why I do it.
And you mentioned that some of the people who were served there maybe as a young child have returned there to work at Baden Street. What does the staff look like? How many employees do you have?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm not sure how many employees. There's a...
Great, I was hoping you'd know that.
I don't know that, no. No, but we have 5 locations and a number of employees. I don't know the number, but there's quite a few, and a lot of them are former Baden Street,
So last question, either of you can answer it. Where do you see Baden Street 5 years from now or 10 years from now?
I think continuing to understand the needs of the community in which we serve and to allow our programs to develop along with those needs. So very much the way that we have come through the past 114 years.
Okay. Anything new on the horizon? Any other upcoming events aside from the luncheon?
Well, we do have some upcoming events. We have a couple of save the date type events. There's the foundation that Jeff mentioned. We'll be doing a kind of a kickoff luncheon September 17th at the Rochester Plaza Hotel. And our signature event for the year is the Baden Street Gala in October 9th. And that too will be at the Rochester Plaza.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time today and the services that you provide to Rochester. If you'd like to learn more about Baden Street Settlement, you can visit their website at badenstreet.org or call 325-4910. CityWise will be right back.